say to them?
Ramesh, ignorance is bliss. They are losing out on the opportunity. I am not losing anything. They can believe anything they want, right? And it's like saying that I go past a street and I find a drunken man, and he's singing very well. I find he's drunk. Second day I go, he's singing very well. He's drunk. Third day singing very well. I assume he's drunk. What kind of a logic is this? And by no measure are valuations way out of shape, or is the money which is coming here considering some scrapes, or is the quality? I mean, these are all. See, Ramesh, it is what has happened. People forget. History since times immemorial. Markets have always taken the course that they have taken, right from the tulip boom to the internet boom.
And no amount of government interference, public can change it.
Right, especially in a free capitalist society. So there what happens, but people are always influenced by what has happened in the immediate past. They've dealt with that asset, they've had better experiences, they've promised themselves they won't deal with it again. Forgetting that when time changes, everything changes.
That's what history teaches us.
In stock markets, जब समय बदलता है तो सब कुछ बदल जाता है. पीतल भी सोना हो जाता है और सोना भी पीतल हो जाता है. So therefore, don't go by the immediate history.
Rakesh, one thing, if you've been almost 20 years career in the stock market, what do you know now that you wish you had known 20 years back?
Maybe if somebody had to tell me what I know, what I have learned in 20 years of my career in 1986, I wouldn't have learned them. I would have just become a slave to those thoughts.
Time and money are great teachers?
I think money is not a, experience and maturity is. You start out very idealistic in life, all of us.
Yes.
Then you realize what the practicalities of life are, life being what it is. Even Gandhiji has said, what cannot be changed has to be accepted.
We'll accept that. We're going to go into a break. When we come back, we'll chat some more with Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. We're talking with the market wizard, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Welcome back. Rakesh, in your long investment career, can you just tell me an experience, good or bad, that has actually taught you the most?
When I invested in private equity in 1999, 2000, 2001, I never earned, but I learned. And I learned 2-3 very big lessons, that this principle of scalability, size matters. And, just because someone is doing 100 tasks well, he's going to do 1 crore tasks well, don't assume. And growth has its own challenges.
And also that they need some competitive moat in their businesses?
Yeah, they need some competitive moat, and that I learned earlier only. And another thing also is, that a bird in hand is worth two in the bush, and why size matters and why large size companies are always safer investment than smaller companies. And that's a very important lesson.
But a loss never really bothers you. I mean, you take it and just shrug it off?
I mean, we are not staking more than 2-3% of our... It's
a part of the game.
It's part of the game, and if you can't take victory without a smile, loss without a smile, you'll never take victory without a smile. And I'm inspired by what Churchill said. You have to lose many a battle to win a war. I never forget those words. So if there's one battle win, then loss, there's so many battles. And it's only when you can, you can smile in the face of defeat, you are...
Grace under pressure. But Rakesh, you've moved on in life, you've had a young daughter.
Another important thing also is that, see, we have no real need for money. God has been kind, He has given us far lesser wealth than people think, but far more than we need. And we are not any social climbers, we don't have any expenses. I live with my father in his house, right?
And he makes you aware of it occasionally,
Okay, when he gets angry, he threatens to throw me out. He tells me, but for my good daughter, he'll have to throw you out. So, he doesn't like my habits, that's the reason. It is justified also. So, but I feel that suppose we have little money, less or more, what difference is going to make? We are not in a race with anybody.
But you have a daughter now, and has that changed your perspective on investing, on life?
No, it has changed my perspective to the sense that it has made me far more aware of my health. I feel that I must spend 30-35 years at least with her, and I feel that being a realist as I am, that with my kind of habits, if I don't improve, how can I have a good quality of life and how can I have age?
Rakesh, the young people that you help, you're also giving a lot to charity. Just tell us about that. What do you do in terms to help society?
Which I have done. See, I have 6 challenges before me, Ramesh. The first challenge is I have to take care of my health. Second, I have to spend more time with my parents, with my lovely wife and my lovely daughter. 3, I think I am trying to institutionalize what I have always been doing. For 15-20 years, I was the chairman, diamond director, peon, clerk, driver, everything of my company.
Your office was your briefcase.
Briefcase. And now I'm trying to institutionalize things. I have a good team of 10 people. We are going to, we've taken a decision, we are going to expand the team. So I want to institutionalize things. So that my skills live beyond me, right? Fourth thing, I want to give it perpetual life.
Let me talk about that organization skill part, and I need to ask you that because you have such strong opinions, and people get intimidated by the wealth you have or the opinions that they have. Do you think it's easy to build an organization when one person demands or commands the kind of
Ramesh, it is always possible if the person who commands that has an attitude to understand and know that he cannot always be right and others can be right, so you got to listen to others. Plus you got to excuse people's mistakes. You got to realize that nobody can learn without making a mistake, and you got to encourage people to take independent decisions. And believe me, Ramesh, there are two parts: creation of infrastructure, recruitment of people, and the team. And I think the first two we have done very well. The third also, now I have people in my office who are taking independent decisions who come and tell me, Bhaiya, we are wrong.
They tell me you want to build a Goldman Sachs like organization.
No, I don't want to build a Goldman Sachs type of organization. I want to build an organization which concentrates on trading and investing, not on any brokerage or investment banking. And so it's my dream in life that I want to have a perpetual life. Rare Enterprises, which is Rakesh Rekha Enterprises, we have a partnership firm. Yeah. I want to give that perpetual life. Then Ramesh, and I think that's the greatest challenge. Fourth, I want to have 1 weekend off every month, 1 week off every quarter, 1 month off every year. By myself, I want to see the world. And I want to plan in the 80 places I want to visit in the next 20 years, which places I'm going to visit.
But that would take away you from your mistress, Rakesh, the markets. I mean, you're a 24/7 market guy.
But when time comes, things have to change. I realize that. And I can always be in touch with markets.
You're telling me you're going to see a kinder, gentler Rakesh now?
I don't know. I think I'm kind and gentle already.
No, in terms of taking time off, mellowing down a little bit, not being totally involved in the markets.
No, I will always be totally involved in the market. Doesn't mean I don't take times off.
While on vacation?
Also, what on vacation? Why not? I can always be in touch. And fifth thing, Ramesh, that I want to do is I want to, God has been kind. He has made me successful. I should not belittle anybody. And sixth, the most important, Ramesh, which started your question is, I believe I'm not an owner of wealth. I'm a trustee. And it is the biggest challenge of my life that I must use this wealth for charity. And I pray to Mother Teresa, said, give until it hurts. And I want to pray to God that God give me the power to.
To make money, of course, is not a sin, but to die rich is a sin, as they say.
I never forget what Rockefeller said, that to die rich is to die in shame. I don't know, Ramesh, how much I'll be able to do. I've started in a small way, right? And I'm going to expand my charitable budgets every year. And it's one of the greatest challenges of my life.
So, Rakesh, I asked you earlier on, how much are you actually worth?
Ramesh, how is it important?
So how much can you give? Okay, I was just joking about that. How much? What are the causes that are important to you?
3 causes, Ramesh. One, I am going to make an orphanage for 500 children. I want to bring up 500 model citizens, right? And I'm searching for land. I've appointed a person. I've given him an office to get the land, and we want to make an orphanage there for 500 children. 2, Ramesh, I feel the greatest friend of charity is still the state. So I want to set up a Ralph Nader type of organization which analyzes how the state spends charity and how it spends social welfare and how it can be spent better. I think that will be the greatest lasting contribution to charity. And third, I think, Ramesh, as you point out, that water is going to be the most important resource of this century. I think India has got very good ancient water management systems. I want to study these systems and apply them in the rural and urban areas. These are the 3 areas where I want to specifically work.
So a little bit of education, a little bit on water, and a little bit on productivity of use.
Of productivity, I think the capital, Ramesh, government, there's humongous waste in government expenditure. And it's not only, see, one is a waste which is coming out of corruption, one which is coming out of systematic issues. You don't know how to spend it well, the productivity of that money. The corruption the government will handle, but the systematic issues, I think by study they can be handled.
Rakesh Jhunjhunwala has become the Amitabh Bachchan of the stock market industry, the 1 to 10 guy. What are the challenges ahead though for you in financial markets? Do you want to go to Wall Street? Do you want to go to Hong Kong? Why settle yourself, limit yourself to India?
No, I'm not limiting myself to India, Ramesh. I think India will peak, in my opinion, by 2010 PE-wise. I think that time when we'll have capital account convertibility, that time we'll have Rakesh living in Singapore or Dubai or Hong Kong or London or Singapore or New York and trading the world and investing in the world. It's my ambition. By the time I'm 50, I'll go.
And inviting his friends on a net jet perhaps?
I don't know, Ramesh. I don't think so.
You have many more mountains to climb, Rakesh. Thank you for a wonderful interview. Thank you for being with us today. Join us next week with another episode of the Wizards of Dalal Street.